And thereby hangs a tale. All the world's a stage, and all the men and women merely players.
One of the best things about the college experience is the chance to try new things and reinvent yourself. Are you looking for new opportunities to express yourself? Maybe looking to make new friends on campus, or beyond your dorm or your major. Wouldn't it be great to do both and get college credit at the same time? You'll find all of those things and more with the Rude Mechanical's Medieval and Renaissance players.
Come, wrestle with my affections. Oh, they take the part of a better wrestler than myself.
The Rude Mechanicals are a theater troupe devoted to productions of ancient Greek, medieval, and Renaissance drama. They've been performing for more than 20 years, both on campus and around the world in places like Canada, Denmark, the Netherlands, Florida, and California. They perform Shakespeare plays in the fall, various historical or student-written plays in the spring, and ancient Greek plays every summer. The Rudes remain true to the spirit of the time in which their historical plays were first performed, using the same techniques as actors did centuries ago, but they choose plays with themes that are relevant to 21st century audiences. In the process of rediscovering history and connecting it to the modern day, actors often find that historical plays help them discover or unleash their creative sides.
I like performing. I'm a very charismatic individual, I like to feel like. So being able to step out on that stage and either, play a triumphant lord or a wrestler, which is very near and dear to my heart, I just get to portray those characters and give those characters life, which I really enjoy.
What I like about acting is that you can just be yourself, but yet not yourself. I mean, for instance, my character, she's kind of sassy, she's kind of, in your face kind of a thing, and, she's just real. And my personality is kind of like that, but I can bring it out more since Shakespeare's supposed to be exaggerated, and it's just really fun.
Well, for me personally, I'm always in this constant state of left brain, right brain warfare. So doing theater was always a way for me to cathartically work through a lot of the feelings that I was having and dealing with, while also telling a story and satisfying that left brain in making progress and the right brain in being creative. So all together, and I just love dressing up since I could walk, truly, let's be honest. I've always loved performing, but acting in particular, the whole process of rehearsal and performance and the relationship between the audience and the theater, that catharsis and that there's an honesty that can happen there.
It's also a great way to absorb knowledge about history. Shakespeare's drama is still unfolding in the news today and in dorms and classrooms all around you.
What I'd like for people to do is just sort of think about gender and class and, that those issues that we're still having problems with today, were of concern in Shakespeare's time as well.
Playing out the interactions between period characters gets you into their heads and brings home just how real they are. It promotes emotional intelligence and the ability to put things into perspective.
If you like to read and you like Shakespeare or you like, ancient Greek tragedies, being in a play helps you understand it so much more. There's a depth of understanding that comes with being in an actual play rather than just reading it. So any kind of scholar, any kind of person interested in performing should come.
Even for those who think Shakespeare just isn't their thing, it's a whole other world bringing his classic plays to life. Shakespeare's world was feisty, and there's plenty of action to keep things interesting.
I've been actively learning, practicing, doing stage combat for 13 years. I've been actively teaching stage combat for 4, so one of my favorite things about fight choreography is the part before the choreography starts where you have to teach, because teaching people how to move and body mechanics and how to use a sword or a knife or even throw a punch correctly for a stage setting something about that feels really good and natural, and it is rewarding to see it after choreography is done, because I get to see the fruits of my labor, if you will.
Rude Mechanical's productions aren't all about the actors. All the world might be a stage, but that means set design, lights, stage crew, costume designers, and makeup artists are all a vital part of the action.
It's a team. Acting is a team sport. It always has been and it always will be. It ain't about who's the lead role or who's got the smallest part. It's a team sport from beginning to end.
You don't have to have previous experience either on stage or backstage. Medieval, Shakespeare, and Renaissance plays are a great opportunity to learn stagecraft in a very different style of performance.
I think that people from all different kinds of backgrounds and all different kinds of experiences get the opportunity to play with and meet and work with other people. I've always hated group work. In school, I hated group work. I hated projects where I had to depend upon other people. But a play is group work, where every single person does his or her best, and everybody relies upon everyone else utterly, completely, and it works every single time. It's amazing.
The Rudes are happy to welcome people of all skill levels, from seasoned and experienced actors to complete newcomers.
If you have the inclination to audition for a play, I think it is absolutely worth it to yourself to go and do that. Even if you don't accept the role, because quite honestly, I think that there is a place for almost everybody who wants to be a part of a production within the Rudes. I don't think anybody would really ever get turned away.
I think that the way that Dr. Elsie does it, basically, if you audition, you're in somehow. And that takes a lot of the pressure off. And so I think that allows the cast to be, a little freer, a little more willing to depend upon other people.
There I shall see my...
Which I take to be either a fool or a cipher.
I'll tarry no longer with you. Farewell, good Signor Love.
Adieu, Monsieur Melancholy.
Those who join are usually quick to discover our welcoming and accepting atmosphere.
The whole backstage climate is very kind and receptive.
I didn't really have the feel for what the Rudes was until I did Hecuba. And that's when I was like, okay, I found my new family.
But I feel like we're all tight-knit. We all have each other's backs. I know I would do a lot for a lot of people in this group, in the Rude Mechanicals. I know a lot of people in the Rude Mechanicals would have my back if I ever needed them to.
They are very loving, very supportive. When you make a mistake, they don't, degrade you or anything. They're just very open about interpretations and different acting methods that you want to try out, kind of thing.
I think being part of a Rudes play is one of the easiest, most comfortable, most comforting and kind places a person could be at college. There's so much openness and willingness to take people where they are and how they are, and I would encourage anybody to do it.
I mean, ever since I started with the Rudes, I made friends like that. Like, it was just very close, and I feel like I'm in a family, so it's just really nice.
And that's why I'm, definitely still going to keep coming back. Beyond the fact that it's another opportunity to do theater, it's another family.
Now I know her. Why, if she be a traitor, then so am I. We have still slept together, rose at an instant, learned, played, and wheresoever we went like Juno's swans, coupled and inseparable.
We asked several of the Rudes, what would you say to someone who was considering trying out for one of our plays, but wasn't really sure?
Absolutely do it.
If you really want to be a part of this, there is a place for you, whether it be on stage, off stage, however.
But yeah, I think everyone should try acting at least once in their life, and I think with the Rude Mechanicals, why not? It's pretty laid back. I mean, sure, it's not language that you're normally used to speaking, but why not learn something new and have fun doing it?
I would just say go for it. I mean, even if you have no experience, don't doubt yourself. If you find yourself to be a creative person and you want to try something fun, just go for it.
Keep in mind, it's a big time commitment, but it's heavily worth it in the end. When you're on that stage with the people you've come to know and love over the course of the production, that moment where the play ends, the crowd is cheering and clapping, and you take that triumphant bow, it's something to live for, something to die for. It's so good. It's such a great feeling. All that hard work you put in, memorizing your lines, getting the blocking down right is amazing.
If you have the inclination to audition, do it. Absolutely. Because everybody here is going to support you. There's no failure. There really is. There's a safety net here, and that's for sure.
Seeing the text on the page, come alive, is just great. And I always say this on the first night, opening night. Whenever in the future I teach these plays, it's these actors' voices that I'll hear in my head. So that probably for me is my favorite thing.
To sum up, the Rude Mechanicals offer a safe space to hone your skills, make new friends, and challenge yourself to try out new avenues of expression. If you check us out, you might just discover that being part of a Renaissance theater company is your thing.